Hey guys, DJ here at Top Tech Cards and Games, and today I'm going to do a legacy deck profile, or deck tech, since that's normally what Magic players call them. I don't know, different people like different things. I think it's pointless. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, for a Grixis Delver deck, this deck was impacted decently by the loss of Dig Through Time just yesterday. The deck that I like playing much more, Grixis Pyromancer, was just completely neutered by the banning, so I had to find something new to play. I like this deck though. It still gets to play some powerful Delve spells and a lot of cards that I really like. So let's just get into the list. We have 4 Delver Secrets and 4 Death Threat Shamans for 1-drop threats. These cards are both kind of just instant must-kill cards. If your opponent doesn't deal with them, they're going to take over the game. Delver just through damage, and Death Threat can do a lot of damage and just gives you an outstanding mana advantage. My cards are up a little bit too high, I think. Sorry about that. So these are just both very important cards for your opponent to answer. They just provide a ton of pressure. Delver is obviously one of the most efficient beaters in the game, and the mana advantage from Death Threat is super relevant. Then we have 4 Young Pyromancers. We are still playing a bunch of cantrips and just generally kind of free dirtily spells, just cantrips, Cabal Therapies, free counter spells. If you can get this guy to stick and play and protect it, you will probably win the game. It's very hard for your opponent to win the game on the ground then. After that, we do have some Delve spells. I have 2 Taskers and a Gurmag Angler in this deck. Before, I would play 2 Taskers or 2 Gurmags either way, and then 2 Dig Through Times. So I felt that I didn't want to play a full 4 Delve creatures, just because I wanted more spells in my deck for my Delver Secrets and my Young Pyromancer. But I did want to play an extra Delve spell, since they were just such powerful cards, and I feel like I have the cards in my graveyard to utilize them. So I chose 2 Taskers because he's easier to cast. He has less of a Delve restriction. It's much easier to cast earlier. The one card does make a huge difference. But Gurmag Angler does just run in and attack much better. So maybe that count should be switched around, but for now I'm liking double Tassiger. Moving on to the spells, they're pretty standard for any tempo deck recently. We have 4 Brainstorms and 4 Ponders. Just pretty standard cards, just the best card selection available. 4 copies of Gitaxian Probe. Probe isn't like a 100% staple anymore in a lot of like Rug Delver type decks, other tempo decks. But when you have the pile of Delve spells that we have and Young Pyromancer plus Cabal Therapy, this card just has so many upsides that I don't think there's a reason to not play 4 copies of it. 4 Force of Will and 4 Diz. Free counter spells are kind of the lifeblood of these decks, just being able to protect your super efficient threats very well, keep your opponent off base. Daze is an awkward card. I have a strong dislike for it because it's very easy to play around in a lot of situations, but sometimes just your opponent playing around it is enough that it's an insanely good card. For removal then, we have 4 copies of Lightning Bolt. This card is just insane in Legacy still. It will be for forever most likely. Just 3 damage to the face is huge for your clock. It takes a turn off of the clock as far as Delver killing them is concerned, which is pretty big. And it kills most threats in the format. Like if you look through my deck, other than my Delve creatures, it would kill every single card I play. It can kill Stoneforge Mystic to keep it from putting Batterskulls into play early. It does a lot of very useful things. Then we have 2 copies of Cabal Therapy. I didn't want to play too many because it's not the most proactive card sometimes. Like you need to use your mana to develop threats sometimes in decks like this, and you can't really afford to sit back and just therapy your opponent out. However, if you have Pyromancer in play, the upside is just so big on the card that I couldn't not play it in my deck. And then with the obvious inclusion of Gitaxian Probe, it's just too good for me to not play any copies of. So I wanted some disruption, and I thought this was a good place to go rather than playing like Stifles or something. And then we have a Singleton Fire Ice. Fire being an instant speed 4 pool is really cool. It lets you get through your opponent's Pyromancer boards a lot of the time. And Ice can just freeze down something big like a Gurmag Angler or something to let you swing through while cantripping. It's just extremely strong. For mana, we have 4 copies of Wastelands, pretty big standard Delver decks in the format. One of the reasons that Stifle's so good in the deck as well as Daze, just being able to keep your opponent down on mana and get yourself ahead. And then we have 8 fetch lands, they're just blue fetches. I have 4 Delta, 3 Scalding Tarn, and a Misty Rainforest. You could diversify some more to make Pithing Needle less good against you, I guess. That probably makes sense in some way since it doesn't matter what we have, since all of our dual lands are blue. And for our duels, we have 3 Volcanic Islands, 2 Underground Seas, and a Tropical Island. The Tropical Island is exclusively just for Death Threat Shaman, just to activate the life gain ability. And I don't feel too bad losing a black land for it because one of our black spells is Death Threat Shaman, so we can cast them off that as well. So that's the deck. That's how I'm adjusting to Legacy without Dig Through Time. It was a pretty heartbreaking ban for me. I really like the card, and actually, personally, I didn't feel like I had been done wrong anytime anyone resolved it. Obviously, it's very powerful, but I didn't feel like it was ruining the format or warping it too much in any way. Granted, warping it, I'm probably just totally off base because most decks were definitely playing Dig Through Time. But I mean, I didn't see a lot wrong with the card. You guys will probably disagree with me. I'm sure some people will, but everyone can have their opinion on it. But for me, I think Legacy is still an extremely fun format. Obviously, there's going to be more diversity. We're looking at a format pretty similar to what we had pre-Cons Block. The big addition to the format are the black Delve spells. And I think they will make decks playing black kind of one of the better go-to choices. I think Bug Delver is extremely strong. You get to play such high-value cards like the Delver cards that we're playing in here, as well as Tasigur, and you get to play like Inventoric and stuff, and Abrupt Decay. Those cards all seem extremely good. I don't know if it's better or worse than this deck. I would definitely like to try it as well, though, and see where I get with it. But the format is pretty cool. I mean, there was a ton of diversity before Cons came out. There will be a ton of diversity now. The additions to the format are good additions, I think. So I'm excited just to keep playing the format. It's going to be really sweet. If you guys are looking for more content, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll have plenty more Legacy videos coming soon. You can also check out our Facebook for events and giveaways and stuff like that, and check out our website, topdeckcardsandgames.com. Thanks for watching.